Yo, what's good with y'all? What's good with y'all? The roster for Rebirth of Souls is almost finished, y'all. As we get closer to the March 21st release date for the game, and at the time of making this video, I believe we have 23 confirmed characters with 11 weeks left until release. Now, if we only get one reveal a week, including the launch week, that'll bring us up to 34 characters for the starting roster. Now, it is possible that they do more double uploads, similar to how they did Ichigo and Ukiura, but I personally think that's just really unlikely. There's also instances that, similar to how this week and back on November 4th, there is no guarantee that we'll get a character reveal trailer every single week for the 11 weeks. And I just did all that yapping to tell you that the chances of my boy Kensei making it to the game are getting slim and hope is starting to dim. See what I did there? But with 9 Espada left and 4 relevant Soul Reapers that have some level of hype behind them, it's hard to imagine Kensei really taking those spots from them in the base roster, which brings me to the topic of today's video and the thumbnail that baited you here. What 4 characters can we expect to see from the Season Pass for Rebirth of Souls? When considering additional characters for Season Passes, generally there needs to be some form of hype behind them. With how expensive things are these days, if you aren't really a big fan of Bleach like that, just to throw money at it regardless, like me, people need a good reason to put their money into it, you know? And from my perspective, they have one of 2 paths they can take. They can either finish the roster with more fleshed out characters and critical to the story characters, and then either add in full-bring arc characters such as Genjo or full-bring Shikai Ichigo, or lesser critical to story characters with fleshed out kits such as Ikaku and Kensei. But with what I just said in mind, I do think we have enough evidence to support the latter. Assuming we get 11 characters out of the upcoming 11 weeks left, 7 of them are highly likely to be Espada, bringing our Espada count to 10 for the in-game roster, and that leaves us with only 4 characters. In the initial announcement trailer for Bleach Rebirth of Souls on the PlayStation YouTube channel, we get a glimpse of White being in the game. Now, this could be a story mode exclusive character, similar to how Jidambo is in the game. We do know there are going to be story mode exclusive fights, so White could be one of those, but if I'm not mistaken, White was a playable character in all of the past Bleach games. Let me know if I'm wrong about that down in the comment section, but I believe that is a thing. And if that is the case, I can see him kind of getting a spot on the roster, but it kind of feels like he should be a skin for Ichigo, since Ichigo, the only thing that really separated them in terms of moveset was the sword swinging thing with Zangetsu, and Ichigo does that in the game already, so I'm kind of leaning towards White being a story mode exclusive fight, so we'll see how that goes. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. But in the instance that he does make it into the roster, that brings us down to 3 remaining characters for the launch roster, in which we've already potentially seen 2 of them in the previous special trailer for Shinji, that being Shunsui and Kamamura. Shunsui is a critical story mode character as he has to fight against Stark, one of the other 11 characters coming, and Kamamura is important in fighting Tosin in the story. With the addition of Shunsui and Kamamura, that brings our in-game captain count to 10, similar to that of the Arrancar, and leaving us with just 1 character left, in which I think that goes to our last lieutenant worth mentioning, Hisagi. In a similar fashion to Kamamura, Hisagi is a storyline critical character as he joins in on the fight against Tosin, and he is also the one to deliver the fatal blow to him. But that's just how I personally see things adding up for the remainder of the game's launch roster, and even from that explanation, there's still so many characters that can easily be added as DLC, let alone fight for one of those spots on the launch roster. And just a few examples as the Fractions, the other Soul Reapers that didn't make the cut, like Momo, Ikaku, Yumichika, Ukitake, my boy Kensei, oh my god. And then, you know, you still have the remaining Espada that I didn't include. Espada number 9, Aranero, Espada number 8, the black dude that lost to Byakuya. And then you can even go further than that if you want to. They could even dabble into the movies, like Hellverse is widely popular, and they can easily add in the antagonist from that in Ichigo's Hellverse form. And all of those are just plenty of reasons as to why I think the Fullbring arc just might get the cutscene treatment in Rebirth of Souls 2, because let's be honest, the game is easily set up for a sequel, and Execution does make a comeback during the 1000-Year Blood War, so they'll be added into the game anyway. if they do get the cutscene treatment, so it is what it is. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. What characters do you think the season pass characters will be? Am I coping on Kensei making the roster? I don't think he's going to make base roster. I do think Kensei has a very good chance at making it as one of the DLC slots, and I'm going to put him as one of my 4. Another supporting argument for that is that they have 1000-Year Blood War outfits for certain characters in the game, and it would be really easy for them to not only give Kensei his Arrancar arc, you know, the tank top with the pants, you know, the drip, and then also give him his 1000-Year Blood War attire. It's really straightforward. It works for both ends, and he'd just be like every other character, Byakuya, Yoruichi, Hitsugaru, that all have their 1000-Year Blood War variants as well. The second character that I believe that will be part of the DLC is Ikkaku. Even though Ikkaku is one of the first people that Ichigo fights when he comes into the Soul Society, he doesn't really have any other big fights outside of that, other than fighting against Edrad, you know, Mr. Big Arms, and the scene where we saw his Bankai. Outside of that, Ikkaku doesn't really have any crucial fights to the storyline, seeing as how he held back during the fight against the Fractions, refusing to show his Bankai and ended up losing, and Kamamura had to step in. So with that, I think Ikkaku won't be base roster since he isn't really necessary for the story to progress, but I do think he has enough hype behind him, enough love for the character, and a fleshed out moveset. You know, it probably start with Hozuki Maru, or he may be similar to how Byakuya and Shinji work in the game, where you can activate one of your spiritual pressure moves or your signature skill or whatnot, transform your Zanpakuto during the match, and then your awakening be your Bankai. Who knows? I do know he will be in the game, and so, at some point, I'm just really leaning towards him being towards the season pass characters. And then I do think the last 2 characters are likely to be the remaining 2 Espada that I believe that won't make the cut, being Espada number 9, Arenero, like I mentioned earlier, and the black guy that lost to Byakuya. I just don't care to learn. Zomari. But those are the 4 characters that I predict will be the 4 season pass characters. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. But that's going to be all for today's video. If you made it this far, consider leaving a like. I appreciate you greatly, and as such, I greatly advise you to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss my next video for Bleach Rebirth of Souls. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. Stay safe out there. Peace.
Niggas saying man down, yeah. Guess I be the zombie that's still wearing the crown, yeah. I know that they love me for being me. That's the difference from a nigga being heard or being seen. So y'all can keep attention, no, I don't need that. Cause we don't need no cameras everywhere I be at. Attend a steady move when you moving, we see that. But we ain't doing nothing, we check where your team at. See, I've been a boss from the moment I formed words. Charm on a milli, so we keep a flock of birds. And no tool on his hip, cause I don't keep beat. Why would niggas kill me? Why they let her at